Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of my yarn podcast. Today I would like to follow the usual format. I would like to show you some finished objects, although I must warn you that in terms of finished objects I don't actually have that much to show you this time. I would definitely like to show you some recent acquisitions because I fear I have mostly been putting my time into acquiring more yarn instead of using yarn. That's fine though, it's all very fun, very colorful, and I'm very excited to show you. And I also recently acquired some more patterns, and that's partially of why I've been buying so much yarn, because I felt very inspired by all the patterns I've been seeing, and I would like to kind of talk to you guys about which yarns I think I will use for which patterns. And I also have some surgery I need to do on one of my finished objects. I finished like the first leg of it, but now some things went wrong. So now I have to kind of try and fix it. So that will hopefully be exciting. Maybe it will just be super tragic. We will eventually find out, but not in this episode because I haven't done the surgery part yet. So without much further ado, let's jump into the kind of finished objects I have to show you. So first off, I have one sock. The other sock has not yet been finished. That is fine though, it is in the works. I have done the little cuff part and now I am working on the leg. I am also just making a few little gifts for people that I don't necessarily want to show you. This is not a gift for someone, it's a gift for me, which is the best kind of knitting. To be honest, this is one of those yarns that I received for my birthday and it's really soft. I was a little worried about having enough yarn for a full pair of my, like how I regularly make socks, so that is partially why I decided to use a little bit of this wonderful green yarn for a contrasting toe and heel. And I shortened the cuff with 5 rounds, so that's not going to do that much, but I was thinking anyway that I usually do 25 rounds for the cuff, and recently I was thinking that that's in general maybe actually a little bit too much. But because I halfway through decided to use this contrasting yarn, I decided to actually do the full 100 rounds on the leg, because to be honest, I enjoy that. I just enjoy that. I think it makes for a really nice like long sock. So I was stubborn and I did do that. I don't yet know if I will potentially run out of yarn for the second sock. Currently it's not really looking like I would, but I'll find out as I go. And yeah, the colors of this yarn are just really cute. I really enjoy them. I really enjoy like this little lilac-y, all the pinkies and the little oranges and the reds, and I just love throwing a little slime green in there. Also because this yarn is so soft. It was, I think, the Lana Grossa sock yarn in Dusk. That is also part of why I liked putting this other sock yarn with it, because this one, I think it was the Undercover Otter sock base in Squirm. It feels a little bit, just a little bit less soft. It's still very soft, but it feels just like a little bit sturdier. I don't quite know how to explain it. Just if you're feeling the squish is different. I don't know how else to explain it basically. So yeah, I've been working on that. I've been enjoying that. I think, I don't know, I feel like this is just going to be such a pretty pair of socks. And I'm really excited to finish them, but that will probably be after Christmas, which is absolutely fine with me. So now for the next, clearly it also hasn't been blocked yet, which in its current state will be utterly impossible. I was so excited to be knitting this, but I don't quite remember. I think I maybe took the needle size of the needles where I was originally working on them with this little gadget. I think I maybe did that wrong, because if I remember correctly, I think the pattern said to use 3mm needles for the finer or the smaller sized yarn version, and I think I accidentally sized down to 2.5. So that is part of what could explain why this darn cowl will not fit over my head right now. I actually won't demonstrate because I was slightly panicking when I finished this. Here, I'll quickly show it to you first. So it is absolutely adorable. The yarn is so cute. The stags look so cute. But when I finished this, when I showed it to you last, it was on those like smaller needles with the smaller circumference. Maybe that was part of it, but I don't know, because I didn't really change anything about like I know and understand that when I change my needles, just like my tension in general will just change a bit. You can also just see that it's just like it goes in. And I do think around here is where I change to that smaller needle size or needle circumference. So what happened here? I'm not entirely certain, because on the bottom I think it would have been big enough to fit over my head, and I have been quite strict with only or like catching my floats every 5 stitches. I don't think I had any rows where I really significantly messed up on that, and there was also just like when I first finished it I thought it was just like 1 or 2 rows that were giving me trouble. So I started doing something a little, I don't know, I don't think I was quite maybe in the right frame of mind when I started doing this, because I started cutting the floats on the inside, which was maybe a little horrifying, but like what was I gonna do? It certainly was not going to fit over my head in its first finished form in any way, shape or form, so I had to do something. So I did that, and I thought at first if I just cut a couple of them I would be able to make it work, but then it became clear that that was not going to be enough. So in the end I didn't cut all of them, but on the part where it was fitting the tightest, which was like from here upwards basically, that is where I cut like all the floats between the different stag beetles. So my plan for now, and I tried it and I did drop a couple of stitches of course, but I do think it technically fits over my head right now, I think. For now my plan is to use the sewing machine to trap all those little fraying bits of yarn on the inside. I was really sad because I felt like it was looking so neat and so nice on the inside, and then it just didn't fit over my head. I played with the idea of just cutting in between 2 of the beetles and sticking it like that, and then tacking that down with the sewing machine, and then just making a little button row. But I think I just kind of got carried away with sticking the other, like the floats in between the stag beetles, and now this is the current state of being. So I will try and salvage it a bit with the sewing machine, and then I will also block it. But it was the type of like, it was fitting tight in a way where I just knew no amount of blocking is going to fix this. So this is still a work in progress. It is still really cute. I still really like the beetles, and we will see how I can hopefully manage to salvage this a little bit. But for now, because I'm already so committed with the steeking that I have done, I'm just going to see this as an opportunity to learn a bit and see how I can salvage it, and otherwise we'll see. But this is why I do sometimes really hate doing color work, and why I haven't been that excited to do color work socks, because this is also definitely a recurring problem for me when I do color work socks. Very often, even though I will size up my needle size when I get to the color work part, I put like 10 plus extra stitches in there. When I start doing the color work part, I catch my floats every 5 stitches. I have made too many socks where they will just not fit over my heel with the color work part, because there's just like something that happens there, and I just have not found the golden ratio of kind of taking that into account and anticipating that. So that has been my color work frustration as of late. I really do want to get back into knitting color work socks, because that is originally one of the reasons why I got so intensely back into knitting, because I just wanted a bunch of color work socks. And now I just keep getting frustrated with it. So I would like to really eventually kind of hunker down on that and kind of figure out a good formula for myself. In general, it's also a bit tricky that like I haven't necessarily been knitting for that long, like seriously in my life. It's only been a couple of years, and my tension has also in general just kind of been fluctuating over the years. So it's hard to kind of pin it down and say like, okay, this is the perfect way for me to approach this problem. But I don't know, I'll keep playing around with it, and we'll see how it goes. So those were the only things that I kind of really truly finished. I have some little projects on the go, but it's mostly just like the other sock of this one and some other little things that I'm not that interested in sharing right now. So I think for now I would mostly really like to jump into the acquisitions, shamefully. So I think I'll just kind of combine showing the acquisitions and also talking about my potential plans for them. And then we'll just kind of like see where that takes us, basically. A friend and I attended our local yarn shop's craft night recently, and we knew that they were also going to be kind of like raffling off some gifts, or not quite raffling off, but like basically you were supposed to bring a gift and then everybody kind of plays with some dice for the gifts, and then at the end of the evening everybody basically has some gifts. I was originally unlucky when we were playing the game. Also, it was way more intense than I thought it would be, but my friend got really into it, and originally I was a little bit unlucky and I ended up with no gifts originally, but then people tend to kind of like try and distribute it a bit, and she was very happy with some of the things she got, so she was kind enough to donate some of her other spoils of war to me. Also, the ones that she gave me were just a little bit more, especially this one, it's just like more my color palette than her color palette, and she was also really happy with the other stuff that she got, and I was very grateful that she was willing to share this with me, because this was the only thing. There were lots of beautiful prizes and stuff to set your mind to, but because of the colors, this one was kind of the only one I was really into, so I felt really blessed and really lucky that she was willing to donate this one to me. It's super beautiful. I'm really excited to work with it, and then she also donated these two to me. I don't yet know what I'm going to do with these two. I think I'll probably combine it with something or use it like as a nice base. It is a sport weight 4-ply naturally dyed. It's 100% merino wool. And yeah, it felt like the color wasn't necessarily something I would be super duper into, but it just felt really nice. It feels just like really nice and squishy, and I don't yet know what I will do with it, if I would dye it or anything. But I don't know, I was just attracted to how they felt. And this one, of course, like it's not, I don't think I need to explain why I was particularly into this one. It's also just like a really nice type of yarn. And that brings me to one of the other things I actually bought. I bought quite a bit of Lan Yarn's Mohair Luxe. And this one in particular, I really hope it will not mute the beautiful colors in this one too much. But I recently got the Stockholm pullover, I think it's called, pattern. And I was thinking to myself that this could be a very nice combination to actually knit that in. Because I think that pattern also calls for you to combine a fingering weight yarn with a mohair. And I thought these two would just look so cute and darling together. I'm not entirely sure if I have enough yardage in just this little bit of mohair, maybe / probably not, but I have some other mohair, and I think in the end it will just all kind of like figure itself out, and I maybe combine a little bit of one of the other ones. But yeah, I just thought this would be such a cutie patootie sweet. I'm just going for a little cotton candy cloud of fuzziness basically with this color combination. I think it's going to be super cute. I just really hope. I am fine with this mohair muting these colors just a little bit, but I do want to still be able to see some of like the lovely variegation that is this yarn. So that brings me to the next little bunch of mohairs that I got. I don't know, I just started touching them, and also one of the other patterns I had my eye on, I forgot the name, but I'll pop up a picture here of this pattern. It is basically just this entire sweater with, I think, just a single strand of mohair, so it's just super airy, super cute. I think it would be absolutely darling for the springtime. And I put together this little color palette for that. And I'm also keeping in mind that I might need just like a little bit extra of one of these for that other project that I just showed. Yeah, I'm excited to try and knit that one as well. I've never done anything in just like a single strand of mohair. Usually I always hold it together, like just 2 strands of mohair, or I will hold a mohair together with something else. But I don't know, I felt just really inspired by the pictures of that pattern, and I would like to see if I can do it. I have not yet thought that much about how I want to distribute these different colors over the pattern. I could either do like even stripes or uneven stripes. I think I usually lean more towards uneven stripes with stuff like that. So we'll see what I end up with. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm very squishy. So I have shown one of these bad boys in an earlier episode. It was probably the last one. This is Lang Yarn's Cloud Tweed Superwash. It's very squishy, it's very big. It is a 84% wool, 10% nylon, and 6% alpaca. And it is suitable for, I think, needle size, 6 to 7. I think I'll be a little stubborn and use 5.5 because I am hoping to make the sweater just like a little bit denser and squishier. So we'll see how that works. And I got another of these Lang Yarns Mulu Light Baby Alpacas because I think this is what I want to use to kind of make my own little Frankenstein version of the Halibut sweater. Because I really like the pattern of the nocturnal sweater, of the like actual sweater itself. So I think I want to do that and use these yarns and kind of transpose the graphic of the Halibut sweater onto that. I have all the patterns for this, so I think I just hate it when the little factory knot is just so absolutely dreadful. Hopefully I can fix that a little bit as I'm knitting with it. But yeah, so the base of the sweater I want to do in these big boys, and then I want to use this for the Halibut graphic. And I just want to make something in like really bright and happy colors, and I think this is going to give me a lot of joy when I'm knitting it. And I think it will be a little bit more familiar because I've done the baseline of the nocturnal sweater already, and then I'm just going to put a different graphic on it. And also that graphic will not require 3-stranded color work, so winning all around, basically, hopefully. I have not yet decided how much I'm going to be playing around with a corrugated rib for that. I'm worried about doing it for the neck part with the Halibut graphic because I am worried that it's going to be at war with each other too much, so I'm still a little bit unsure about that. But I do like the idea of doing a little bit of the corrugated rib around the sleeve cuffs and around the hem, and I think this time I will also experiment with actually using a slightly smaller needle size for those ribbing parts, because as I said in my last episode, I feel like that could potentially just like look a little better. But maybe it will actually be horrible, who knows. Stay tuned to find out, I guess. So I also went to Amsterdam in the past week, and I met up with a friend there, and we also went to a yarn store, of course, but we also had a little stash exchange. I put together some lovely yarn for her that I was really excited about, for her to see like what she would do with it and how she could use it. She's already showed me some pictures of how she's test swatching with some of the stuff, and she also gave me some stuff. She gave me a bunch of little craft things, but for now I'm only going to be showing the yarn. She gave me this lovely little confetti type yarn. I really like this. I have been curious towards yarns like this, and I have been wanting to try it. So this is very exciting for me. I don't yet know what I will do with it. Maybe a little headband or something. That could potentially be cute. I don't know how that would look with my hair, but I don't know. I just really like the little kind of confetti flakes in there, and I think I'll eventually make something really cute with this. And the other one that she gave me was this lovely, 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 luscious, like hand-spun forest green with also some shimmer. I think she said it was 100% natural, so I'm guessing it's a stellina that is just worked through there that gives it this wonderful sheen and shimmer. I have no idea what I'll use it for yet, but it's really pretty. And at the very least, I'm going to find a lovely little spot on my wall of wonder to display this on, and just wait until the perfect inspiration strikes me. Actually, now that I'm looking at said wall of wonder, I am seeing, I don't know, something with, maybe it's just the Christmas spirit, but like seeing something in these two colors together. I don't know how or what I would do with that, but it does look really pretty if you ask me. So I don't know, no promises, but I am definitely feeling inspired by it. So yeah, this is just some wonderful unexpected additions to my collection, and I am really excited to come up with something fun to make with it. I also went to my local little yarn store and I picked up another one of the Biche et Bouche, the Le Petit Lamb's Wool. This is not the type of color I usually go for a lot, but I don't know if you remember, but I don't know if you can see it like this. I have quite a few of them over here in different colors, and I have been experimenting with seeing how I can kind of combine the different little doodles from Pacific Knit Co. And I did come up with quite a few in kind of this type of color palette. But at the recent knit nights, I've been feeling so inspired by watching all the ladies with their beautiful kind of like Nordic knit sweaters and stuff. And I think part of what I liked about them, and if I look at my current color palette, I am worried that it's too low contrast. So I wanted to add a lighter color in there, and I wanted to actually start a little easy for myself, and I wanted to start with a pair of leg warmers. And I want to add some of this color in there. So I'm just going to go back to the drawing board with those doodles, see what I currently have, see what I currently liked, and see if I can make just like a really cute kind of like Nordic knit inspired, but still kind of more using those like Pacific Knit Co. Doodles. So I think that could potentially be really cute, and I think I just want like a little bit more of a lighter contrast color in there as well. So that's why I brought this one into the mix. And I think, yeah, the rest of the colors is just like a lot of this, like browns and oranges and some greens, dark greens and stuff. So I think it just needed a little bit of something to kind of like brighten up that color palette. So we'll see how that goes for me, but I'm excited. All right, now for kind of, for me, the grand finale, but also I don't really know yet what I'm going to be using these for. This was just like, I don't know, all the other stuff I kind of bought with specific purposes in mind. This was a little bit more of a, oh my god, I'm in Amsterdam, I'm at the Stephen and Penelope store. It has, like, my birthday was recently, and I feel like I'm not in Amsterdam that often. And if I'm there, I don't always get to go to the yarn store. So let's just say I got a little carried away and I got a little overexcited, and I bought 2 yarns from, I think, one of my favorite yarn brands that they carry, so the King Fiber. These are absolutely gorgeous. The lower one is the color palette I just have been using so much recently. The Stag Cowl also, it's a different brand, but this is clearly kind of like a similar type of color pattern where there's just like yellows, oranges, but most importantly pinks and purples and lilacs in there as well. And the King Fiber stuff, it's just so nice. Let me just see, what is this base? It's 100% ultra fine South African merino. It is a single ply. It is very soft. It does have like quite a bit of halo around it. I don't know how it will wear. I think, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think I should make a lovely, like, delicate and like soft and squishy scarf or like shawl or something for myself out of this. Now next we have this little King Fiber baby. This is a 65% baby suri, 20% merino, 15% silk. And so last year I made quite a few like little hats and stuff out of this type of yarn. I do have some scraps as well. I don't know what I want to use this for. I saw that, I thought that I saw that Stephen and Penelope were slowly kind of getting rid of all their melted baby suris, and I just love this yarn base. It is so fun, it is so squishy, and I just love this color, and I just kind of really wanted to have it, even just to display it up here for a little bit. I have no immediate plans for this. I just think it's gorgeous and I just really wanted to have it. So I bought it and now I have it. So yeah, those were my final yarn purchases, and definitely my final yarn purchases for the year, because Lord, that was a little bit much yarn purchasing maybe. So maybe you know how I usually say that around this time Bert is kind of calm and quiet because she's going down for kind of her morning nap. That was not happening in this case. I just plucked this little lady off of a bookcase. But yeah, so my acquisitions and my knitting plans have kind of blended together for this podcast. I am very excited to start all my new knitting plans. I've still some other things that I'm also kind of thinking of, but I think for now I'm pretty satisfied with this. Maybe I'll make another video as well with like kind of all the things I'm thinking of knitting, or like my knitting aspirations for 2025. We'll see about that, but for now I think I mostly need to just start knitting the stuff that I just mentioned to you, finish the other stuff, hopefully salvage that little stag beetle cowl, because it is very cute. And I'm very excited to just place all this lovely yarn on my little wall of wonders. I know one of us is really excited about that. It's probably not Bert. That is fine though. I very much appreciate that she still joined me for signing off this video, and I will spend some extra time playing with her, and there will definitely be some extra treats in her future, as she deserves, even though the vet doesn't agree. A little treat here and there, very important. So I wish everybody a very Merry Christmas. The Merry Christmas is definitely coming from me, maybe not so much from Bert. I'm not sure about her levels of holiday cheer and spirit. That's fine though. Happy knitting and Merry Christmas. Bye!